What's up guys, Scopetactics here and welcome to my 100 subscriber special. And today we're going to be looking at a highly requested tank ever since I did the BTSV review, I think. The Panzer II J, the legend itself. So what makes this tank so good? Oh, you're about to find out. So as you can see, it's a light tank, so I've got my Aufklärungspanzer on here. Unfortunately they're trained in camouflage and not repair, which I would have liked. Let's go over the stats as usual. 260 HP. We don't really need to worry about that, but I think it's pretty decent for a tier 3. Let's have a look at, for example, Panzer S35. 260, so it's the same as that. BTSV. 240, so it's more than that. For all intents and purposes, you can class this as a heavy tank, not a light tank. It weighs 18 odd tons. Top speed 31 kilometers an hour. It is quite sluggish. It's got a very low traverse speed. It's not very maneuverable. But the armor, now this is where it gets interesting. 80mm at the front of the hull and turret, 50mm at the side, and 50mm at the rear. This tank is absolutely incredible. Whatever situation it ends up in, it's gonna bounce a lot of shots. And I intend to show you through quite a few replays. I think we've got either 5 or 6, so I thought I'd make this a bit longer for you to enjoy the tears that feed my Panzer II J. Also gold, there's a lot of that. As you can see, I've got 200 standard AP and 200 APCR. You need that, because the penetration of the gun is 23 and 46. Yeah. It does 11 damage a shot. It's only got a 1.4 second aiming time. You just need to spam shots with this. You really do. The gun is pretty terrible, but that's what makes it fun. Equipment, I've decided to go for a improved ventilation, a spall liner, and a toolbox. I was going to go for a gun lane drive, but you don't need to with a 1.4 second aiming time. The other equipment is pretty lackluster, really. I mean, I suppose you could go with torsion bars, but why would you? You don't need anything else. It's a tier 3 for God's sake. If you really wanted to, you could go with chocolate instead of a fire extinguisher. I don't think I've ever been set on fire in this tank. What was I saying? You know what? Let's have a quick look at the service record. Where's my Panzer II J? I don't think I've actually played that many games in it. Panzer II J, where are you? That's a tier 3, isn't it? Not a tier 2. There it is. So 12 battles is obviously bugger all. I've only actually started playing it today. I think I might have had 1 or 2 games in it before, but nothing to the extent of what I played today. The Mastery Badge wasn't that difficult to get. I think I had, out of the 6 replays I've got for you today, I think the first 5 were first classes, and the final one was a Mastery Badge. I wasn't even trying. You'll see when it comes to the replays. But this tank is not available anywhere in the game outside of the box sets that you can import from, where is it, Russia I think is the only place the box sets are sold. Now you'll be lucky to get this tank on eBay. It is incredibly expensive, and unlike the BTSV, I don't think it'll be sold on the advent calendar. After you watch these replays you will know why. If you had like 10 people aside running about in this tank, it would be impossible. This tank cannot penetrate itself. Well, I think it might, but it's very difficult to do so, even with gold. Very difficult. It would just make tier 3 and 4 games. That's impossible. Now what this tank has been compared to a lot is the KV-1. I'm sure the armor in the KV-1 is better. Let's have a check just to make sure. KV-1. It's actually got better hull armor at the front than the KV-1. That's ridiculous. What about the turret? Oh, it hasn't got as good turret armor, but 80mm at tier 3 is equivalent of. I'm sure the Panzer II, no, the tier 2 Panzer, what is it called? It's not the S-35. What is it? I know I've got it. Ah, this. The 38H, I think this used to be called the Minimos. Forget this. You want to call the Panzer II J the Minimos. Anyway, I think that's enough dilly-dallying, dawdling, faffing about, whatever you want to call it. Let's jump into the replays I'm sure you're all salivating to see. Alright guys, so here we are, in a standard battle on Prokhorovka. Cruiser 2, talking about the micro mouse, but I'm sure that's the 38H on his team he's talking about. If he is talking about that, he may have neglected the fact that I am in a Panzer II J. So this is my first game of the day, and I didn't really know what to expect. Like, I've heard stories about this thing, I've played a few games in it, but, you know, I didn't know what to expect really. So I was gonna go over the ramp here and straight up onto the hill around F0 or G0 and see what I could do. Then I decided, nah, screw it, we're going straight through the middle. Let's see what this tank can really do. As you can see, it's not super slow, but it's not fast by any stretch of the imagination. As you can see, all our team is YOLO'd up one side, and the Panzer 1 is left defending that side alone. Also, he thinks. If I was a bit faster, I'd be able to cut them off, but, you know, I'm pinging out the F0 to the map, to the team there. But I think it's fallen on deaf ears. Our best players are the Cruiser 2 and the LTP, but I can't stress this enough. Just because a player has good or bad stats, don't judge them on that. Players can and will surprise you. So we're up here, just see the exploding barrels on the other end of the train tank, and we see the Cruiser 2. So let's start ripping him a new one. So he bounced the Panzer 1, that's a good start. Pulled back a bit because I wasn't too sure what my armour was capable of. I mean, the Marder can go through it, I think. There's a D2 over there, which would be very difficult to penetrate with this tank. Well, let's go and say hello to the Cruiser, who has just realised that we are right there. So I've got premium loaded. I probably didn't need it here, but you know. He doesn't know what the hell to do. He didn't even bother firing. There's that Panzer 1. We're ripping him apart. We are using gold. As you know from the garage, this tank has awful penetration. Bounce a Panzer IV. I think I quickly typed to him here apologising for the use of gold. Oh look, there's a Marder too. So let's rip apart the Marder 2. Got standard loaded at the moment. We finish off the Marder 2. I've noticed there's 3 or 4 tanks going right for our base. There's no way I'm letting them cap. So at the moment we've done just over our tank's HP in damage. We're going to defend the base in case they decide to cap. Oh, I remember this bit. This is hilarious. So I start firing at the Panzer II and I just watch them bounce off me. I mean, look at this. I don't even bother firing until I get closer. Now at this point, I can imagine they're panicking. I think I do repair my gun, but they destroy it again straight away. Yeah. Panzer II can be quite bouncy though. Yeah, there's my damaged gun again, but there's nothing they can do to me. The Renault bullshit destroys the one Panzer II, and I start taking care of the other. And he's dead. The Renault bullshit proving its worth. There was a Panzer IV A behind us. And he's dead. So is the armor on this tank. It's pretty impressive. So I'll speed this up a bit as we go towards the LTP. Tank seems to be rubber banding a bit. Load standard AP. The 38H is left as well. That could be dangerous. But the artillery is left. I'm assuming he's right at the back in K6. Oh no, he's right in the middle of the field of the Panzer 38H. Shoot the artillery first, because you know, free damage. He's dead. I don't think I even bother shooting at him. Or do I? I think I spray at him with APCR. But we didn't need to. So that's replay 1. On to the next one. So, battle number 2. Standard battle on Karelia, as you can see. I was contemplating going straight up the middle of the map, but then I noticed that Marder 2 is a bloody good player. So is the BT2, but that doesn't matter. The Marder 2 is dangerous. It's not as good as it used to be. Well, pre-patch, before they progressively nerfed it for every patch for like 7 patches before I started playing. I can't remember when I started playing. Anyway, that's besides the point. The point is, I was going to go straight down the middle, then I decided no, let's go round. So I'll speed up the first couple of seconds. Put it up to 4 times speed, his tank is so slow and nothing's really happening. There's Hank Gerchies taking a piss out of somebody's name on our team, when his name sounds like handkerchiefs. I was gonna put that in the chat, but I was like, no. It'll be sweeter if I just manage to kill him with this tank. So let's just speed it up until the corner, and let's go back to normal speed. I like leaving the chat on, this is quite enjoyable to read. Thanks M2 Medium. Low tears. What a laugh. So we're just boldly going where every Panzer II J before me has probably gone before. We fire on the move randomly with APCR, doesn't do much. Our team rips apart the enemies as they are surely distracted by my might. And this Panzer II J is obviously crap in his pants. There's an M3 Light, which is surprisingly bouncy when fighting against a Panzer II J. Tried to get a few shots off into him. Don't penetrate at all, but you know, they weren't really well aimed. There we go, getting some damage off there. And he's dead. So we've been hit for 6 by the observation by the SE-26. This Panzer II is bouncing all his gold. And because he's put himself up against that hill, mountain or whatever, we were flat onto his upper plate. So we went straight through that. Shoot at the artillery a little bit. So all together, out of all those gold rounds, all the tanks are shot at us. Yeah, as the SU-26 says, it is an OP tank. And I do feel sorry for anybody that comes up against this tank, I truly do. I even apologise in game for using it. It is absolutely ridiculous. Ooh, there's a 38H. And he's bouncing gold off me. Oh, the joys. Oh shit, it's a Marder II. Shoot at him. I don't know why he shot. If that Marder II hadn't have shot HE at us, he could well have gone through us. I guess we're just lucky that it wasn't the better Marder II, shall I say. Anyway, god, that happened so fast. We've pretty much steamrolled that flank. Try and get some more damage on the M2 medium, or the medium 2, sorry. So similar tanks. But I don't think we ever managed to get a bead on him. Replay's a little dodgy, but always better to record games or replays as soon as you get the footage these days, because when the patches come out, you never know if they're going to work properly or not. So this is BT2, ripping apart our poor Cruiser 1. I'm not having any of that, I need to save him. And we managed to kill him, leaving our Cruiser 1 on 2 HP. So what's left? A Marder II, the artillery, handkerchiefs, and the medium 2. Don't know where the Marder II has gone. Medium 2 is probably still where he is, and we have no idea where the arty is. I'm assuming in A9 or A0. As you can see, we're slowly plodding up the hill, being passed by a bloody Panzer I. There's a medium 2. Do we have any shots? No. Not going to beat a T-18 to the kill. This is a fun tank to troll, T-18s. There's a Marder II. Just we start firing the cruiser we saved, gets our kill. Should we have let him die? Maybe. We might have got that kill. But you know. And there's the artillery, try and get a shot on him. T-18's having none of it. 503 damage done. Let's look at another replay. Here's the next battle, a standard battle on mines. At this point, I'm starting to get pretty confident. Maybe too confident in this tank. I see the enemy team doesn't really have much that can give me any trouble. But that may come back to bite me in the ass. So let's speed up the remainder of this. I confidently say, like a jackass, I'll take the hill. Because, you know, one guy against 15, even in a Panzer II J, can probably pull it off. Maybe if I'm not as confident as me. So he's slowly plodding up towards the hill. Panzer I passes us by. There's a T-1E6. I don't think I even bother shooting. I'm just waiting to see him bounce. 1, 2, 3. There's a UC 2-pounder. I know he's got pretty good penetration. Reload standard AP. He does no damage. And we rip him apart. We are being constantly tracked here. Just trying to get shots of whatever we can see. I mean, bloody hell, there's a lot of stuff shooting at us. Still shooting standard AP. Cruiser 4's armour is giving us trouble. That's the first time we hear that. Something missed us in. It's a T-18. Gotta load the APCR for this guy. No real idea where to shoot this guy. Bouncing the Panzer I. Put a few shots into him. Shouldn't have bothered turning around really. Because these cruisers are what really gave me trouble. Mainly the one on the hill. Try and desperately finish off the T-18 before he shoots at us. He panics and bounces. I don't think he had the howitzer yet. So he's staying trapped here, taking all the punishment in the world. Cruiser 4 is going through our turret, I think. And we're just taking so much punishment here. But this cruiser, he's the one that screwed us over. And this is my final mistake. Turning to shoot at these guys, I think was my downfall, leaving my side to the cruiser. And as I said, I bet you were expecting that, well, I was expecting that to be the cruiser too, but it wasn't. So it's looking pretty bad at this point, but I am going to show the rest of the replay. And we are going to watch, if I can change the bloody... Oh, we can't watch it. No, that's a shame. Well, that's the end of that replay. But I will tell you that we did go on to win that, and that T-70 did a fantastic job. So congratulations to you, Pedlo78. You are an absolute legend. I still can't believe you won that. Against all those tanks, I think he got a Top Gun, something like that. Incredible. Anyway, next battle. Once again, a standard battle on Prokhorovka. I think that's how you say it. I'm not sure if the first K is silent. Is it Prokhorovka or Prokhorovka? Not sure. Either way, this time we're starting on the opposite side. I think we decide to try and do the same thing again. So speed up the boring timer. Not sure what's going on with the replay there. The camera can be odd. I didn't realise this Panzer I was a pretty good player. And I wish he wasn't on our team because he's getting all the bloody kills and damage. Panzer I is an incredible tank. So you can see he ripped apart that BT2. We try and push up, trying to get some damage before the Panzer I steals it all. He's got 2 kills already. And we've only just got here. Panzer I is probably as overpowered as the Panzer II J. Obviously in different ways. But they are completely opposite ends of the spectrum. You could happily own both and play both and do well in both. Although it's arguably much easier to do well in a Panzer II J. The Panzer I isn't exactly difficult either. The first target of the match is a T-82. Not exactly much armor, but we still managed to bounce quite a bit. T-82 is dead, so we turn our attention to the Cruiser 3. M2 medium, not even worth shooting at. There's an M3 Stuart somewhere who keeps bloody bouncing off us. Cruiser 3 decides to try and have another go. And just ricochets. M3 Stuart just bounces again. Don't really need to worry about him. I think we do try and get a few shots, but he's not daft. No, he's having none of it. So we load a PCR and decide, screw this. Cruiser 3's over there, Marder 2's more of a threat. Take out the Marder 2 first and then focus on the Cruiser 3. So we do. There's the Marder. Got rid of him. Bonus the Cruiser. And finish him off. And there's a VAE Type B over there. Just realised one of their Marder 2s has team killed. I don't know, you get cocky in the chat by this point. Saying that tickles like a moron. You get caught up in the moment of this tank. It's so much fun to drive. But I know the VAE Type B is over there. God, that's a pain to say. So we just drive towards him, laughing off his shots as he sits quietly and craps his pants. Shoot the M3 Stuart. Go through him once. And we finish him off, thanks to the help of whoever shot him. And there's the VAE. And now we'll just patiently ping away at him. And he's dead. Now I had no idea where these tank destroyers were. I assumed they were both hiding in A1. But just because I know, I'll speed this bit up because not a lot happens. So I don't know where they are, so I assume they go for the base, so I start driving back. We start capping, and all of a sudden the Marder II gets spotted over there. And the Valentine AT. That's obviously that must be a glitch saying that our base has been captured by 3. It's obviously 2. So I say that 3 people need to cap or we lose. Valentine AT is adamant that we don't, but we won. So that wasn't a spectacular replay, but I thought it was quite fun. It just shows you how the Panzer II J can just drive wherever it wants without giving a shit. Anyway, next one. Alright, so you guys have seen enough Tier 3 gameplay and you want to see how the Panzer II J handles itself in a Tier 4 game. The answer? That depends how good of a player you are. I'm glad that the enemy team does not have a B1, but they do have a Durchbuchswagen 2, or DW2. They have an M3 Lee, which can prove surprisingly bouncy. And the T-46 and the FCM-36 Pak 40 have just announced that I am a Panzer II J. So I decided the best place to go is straight over the bridge and up to the little temple or whatever it is. But the landscape of this map looks really good when you have time to enjoy it. So it's myself and the medium 3 going to take over the temple. M3 Lee is a little hesitant. Why did I say the M3 Lee? The medium 3. Goddamn, all these tanks sounding the same. And we slowly crawl over the bridge. If you ignore the tanks, this could be Skyrim. Medium 3 is deciding to camp there, and I say, no, not having none of that. Come with me. I need your help for sure. So he comes with me, which is nice. And I wasn't expecting to run into that many tanks up here, but oh boy, do we run into tanks. First of all, a T-46. Now I was looking at this guy initially thinking, oh, it's no problem, it's a T-46, but I was like, oh shit, he just damaged me for 117. So I desperately try and wiggle back and forth, and we finish him off, luckily bouncing most of his shots. The Lux doesn't have much of a threat to us. Medium 3, nobody cares about the medium 3. I do penetrate the Lux a few times. Enough to scare him off anyway. Somebody else is hitting him, I think that might be... Looks like the Sturm Panzer II. Oh god, there's another T-46. Need to get rid of this guy as quickly as possible. The T-46 is a very dangerous Tier 3 tank. The Medium 3, however, is not. If you ever have to endure the Medium 3, which you will if you want to go up the... Well, you may if you want to get the T10 British the British heavy tank. Or, well, you definitely will if you need the Matilda. Medium 3 keeps trying his luck. So I'm trying to use this dead tank for cover. Dead tank, you know what I mean. Are we losing by 1 tank? That's not too bad, we can still pull it back at this point. I fired all my rounds there thinking the T-46 would take damage, but he did not. The medium 3 should still be here, yes he is. Look how much the front of that tank sticks out. So one shot from this T-46 could probably kill us. I try and side scrape. And we do actually have his arse. But alas, no more. And this is where we meet our end. The bounciest M3 Lee in history takes us out. That's the only time you will ever find an M3 Lee being useful. And I don't know what the hell happened to the camera there. So it's always good to have a jokingly curse at your destroyer. Although some people on the enemy team don't seem to appreciate that. I guess that brings out the worst in people when they fight a Panzer II J. Anyway, you can see the Sturm Panzer II, but I don't think there's much point following the rest of his stuff. Artillery at low tiers is boring. Funny how we can switch to replays at this point. Anyway, let's end off this replay here and proceed to the final replay. So it seems that luck is against us again. Oh yeah, because it was the first couple of replays. No, I say that because it's another tier 4 game and there is a B1 on the enemy team who knows his ass from his elbow. And the Matilda on our team takes an interest to our tank. So I think I'll reply to him as the countdown is going down. He says he's met those before. And obviously the Matilda being the beast it is, the Panzer II J never stood a chance against them. So I asked, did you rip them apart? But you probably did. He says kinda. Not sure if I mentioned this is a standard battle on Kharkov. But I have now. Anyway, decide to stick with the Matilda. Now the Matilda becomes a key part of the victory of this game. Don't want to spoil anything, but if you've seen my YouTube updates today, well, the date I'm recording this, they shouldn't come as much of a surprise to you. You should always check my YouTube updates, I usually post them quite often. We just missed the M2 medium, so we have to go around. As the Matilda asks which tank we're afraid of. And I say rightly so, the B1, as we will not be able to do shit all to him, and as I said before, he knows his arse on his elbow. And then Matilda says, alright then, I'll have the B1. And at this point I can't believe my luck. And I will indeed let you roast him. First you rip apart the M2 medium. Didn't need APCR for this, but why switch? So I thought we had blocked us in then, but he was just enough away to get through. See the Su-76? Rip him to absolute shreds, and he's trying to hide himself, but he can't quite get in there. And there's the dreaded B1. So Matilda goes first. And I try and get around to the side of him to do some damage. And we do bugger all day. So I decide to start shooting at the medium 3, which has no armor whatsoever. The B1 actually damaged us. I think he was aiming at the medium though. The Matilda, sorry, the medium. We were aiming at the medium. He's dead. I'm tracked. Congratulate the Matilda on taking him out and helping us out immensely. So I rush to the Matilda's aid and try and take out the 13T or whatever might be shooting at him. Try and shoot the Covenanter. You'd be surprised how much armor a Covenanter has against a Panzer II J's flak gun. It's not a flak gun, it's an autocannon, but you know what I mean. So I'm not having much luck with the crews, the Covenanter rather. He's dead. Now we push forward a bit and see if we can get shots on the Marder 38T. Reload, and the Marder 38T goes right through us with that shot. Try and wiggle a bit, bounce off the side, finish him off. Well, that was close. So at this point we've done 747 damage, which is a massive amount for a tier 3. Ooh, there's a T-82.
Well done.
I don't know if you noticed there either, but the tier 4 French artillery hit us with a HE shell and did absolutely nothing. God bless our spall liner, eh? I think he takes a shot at us again, misses. And the Samuel Sao saves the day. So that was a fantastic example of when random players come together for teamwork for the greater good. Well, look at that guy. That would have been, well, it might not have been a lost game, but he helped us get an amazing game anyway. So a shout out to New Fire, a fantastic player. People can surprise you. Don't underestimate the power of teamwork and randoms. Half the time if you give people a chance, they will aid you. So let's jump back to the garage for the final portion of this video. So there we are, guys. I'm not sure how long that video or this video will end up being once it's rendered and that, but I hope you enjoyed it. I wanted to review a tank, well sort of review, it's kind of a review, but I wanted to do something special for 100 subs, and since I haven't had the opportunity to play this tank much, or I know a lot of you guys want to see it, and obviously it's very expensive to buy, so you can get a taste of it. I thought everybody would want to see this, and I just wanted to say, well, before I say that, this tank does get limited matchmaking 3 to 4, so you'll never see tier 5s, thank God. If you want to buy this tank, like I said, it's probably your best bet is eBay. But knowing Wargaming these days, I know I said it wouldn't likely show up in the calendar thanks to the BTSV, but you know Wargaming, that exclusive KV-220, those are very rare tanks, seems to be popping up fairly often. So yeah, don't count your chickens, it may probably come available soon. I wanted to thank you all for 100 subscribers. May go up or down by the time this video is released. Your likes and comments and interaction and views help the channel immensely. I know I don't output content that often, but I'm probably going to start doing a let's play alongside World Tank stuff, because it's so much easier to just record that and put it up, Some of these tank gameplays, you have days where there's terrible games over and over again, where you just get frustrated, you're grinding up bad tanks and it just gets annoying. You know how it is, you all play tanks. But you may see a Let's Play series coming up soon. You don't have to watch it if you don't want to. If you're waiting for content in between tanks and you kind of like the look of it, then by all means give it a watch. If it's not your thing, you're not obligated to watch it, obviously. But yeah, if any of you want to add me in game or whatever, please feel free to do so. I always need people to tune up with these days, it seems. And I still want to do the subscriber stuff. Oh, and I still need the T95E2. So if any of you are interested in helping me out with that, as I said, you can message me in-game for details, add me as a friend, send me a message saying you're interested in helping out and I'll tell you what you can do. And don't forget the prize for that is a tier 8 premium tank of your choice on your main account. Anyway, I think that'll do it. I hope you enjoyed the review and I'll see all you guys in the next video. Thank you very much for watching.